Hi guys, Tuva here. This week I'm doing a video all about incense scrying, but not just any incense scrying, for we are going to be using Antlers horns. Now if you're wondering how that relates, join me in the rest of the video. And also it can be called Divination too. You want to check it out and look it up, that's what it's called. So today I have everything set up. You may have seen me doing some things. Well, I'm going to explain what all that was in a moment. But the first thing I want to talk about is incense. How can you scry in incense? What is the point of it? Well, the point of it is to look into whatever your soul is looking towards. So if you have a thought in your mind that you want an answer to, by looking and scrying into things like mirrors and water and things like that, you will get an image, a crystal ball, all those sort of things. But with incense, it is totally different because it is air, and air goes to the gods. Air is full of inspiration and beginnings. If you look at air in the circle, it is the beginning of day, the beginning of spring, the beginning of a journey. From east to west, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So we can see that air is very special. It's also about thinking, and by that we need to be able to shift our consciousness, and the best way of doing that when scrying is to look into either flames or to look into incense. Now you can use incense on a charcoal, you can put herbs and burn them, but I have found that if you use these things, they burn out quickly and they make too much smoke in the room and it can be choking. So I find the sticks work better. They come in all different types and you can pick the one that for your question. Now today we are using dragon's blood and sage. The reason for that is I'm looking towards my ancestors today, and the reason I am using these antlers, it's a way of finding what you're looking for in the smoke, and as the smoke rises you find by hitting these together and looking into that directs you straight to your ancestors. But of course we don't want to do this straight away, so I'm going to put these back here, because the very first thing that you should be doing for this is to be relaxing, making sure you're not going to be disturbed. What you saw me do in the beginning was basically starting a sacred space. Now, in Norse witchcraft, we don't always do that. But as I said to you guys before, I do bring in other aspects. And so if you want your incense to be flying high, but not turning it into invaders. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you can get disturbing spirit that will use those to distract you and send you on a wild goose chase. So what this is for is to be in a sacred place, to be cut off from anything that might come and do anything that you don't want it to do. Now, also, doing this is very ritualistic in some ways. So the more you feel comfortable in your ritual, the more you will benefit from it. And that is why I have this on, and no jewellery, basics only, candles for light, and the antlers and the incense, and that is all you need, guys. The reason I wanted to do this is to show you different ways that you can connect, different ways that you can get message. And when I do this with the antlers in the cauldron with fire in it, it is very powerful. But you can get the same, a little bit more subtle, but you can get the same with doing this indoors, in just the smoke of the incense. The reason I'm wearing this is because when in my practice I shift, I like to have a covering on my head. This is not to hide away, but it is to keep you in a set space. And obviously in Seder practice we often pull it down and cover our faces, but because we're scrying, we don't want to be doing that, so you wear your covering like this. Now, you don't have to wear a head covering, guys, it is entirely up to you. But what I wanted to do today is just to go through the basics so that you can start this practice. The first thing you should do is get connected to your incense sticks. By doing this, it will aid you more when you're scrying. So the way you do that is you get the pack that you're interested in getting to know, and you will, like everything else, keep it near you and light it every morning or night, depending on your situation. But to light one every day for at least 2 weeks. And once that is done, you can then use those sticks that you have been binding yourself to in a way and be able to burn them. So if you want to have a lot of them because you're going to be doing a lot, maybe you're going to be doing it for a few hours, but some people like to do that. There is many ways to scry. In this time of the year, when scrying over a flame, we do the special breaths, and that would be you go like this and you sit over it and you breathe it in through the nose and then blow it out after holding it, and blow it. Mugwort and things like that would be used, but you don't want to be shifting artificially for this. You want to be able to be you shifting yourself. So it will take practice, guys, and you won't get huge results to start with, but it is a practice that is very encouraging for you. It's all about connections at the end of the day. What we're aiming for is to get enough smoke to rise, but we also want to get into the right stage and state to be receptive. You need to be able to shift your consciousness, which means you need to become trance-like. And the best way of doing that is, I feel, normally with drum, normally with rattle, but you can do this to reach the ancestral stage, the ancestral site is what's within you, within here, your DNA, what goes back, what we lose touch with when we live day to day, but it's there inside, and this is what we need to tap into, guys. So with the sticks, and if you can get them, brilliant, but don't worry if you can't. A drum will do, a rattle will do, but this helps you to get into that state where you need to be. So what we do is I will take you on a sort of path working start to shift you, and this will be basically while I'm tapping. So we start now. You try to relax, keep your mind clear, relax all the muscles in your head, shoulders, tummy area, stomach, legs, feet. I want you to visualize a reindeer. Tap the antelope, the reindeers, and drift. And as you take some breaths in, look at the reindeer closely. Look at its antlers. What is it doing? We're going to follow it because it is now walking towards a herd of beautiful creatures. Two males are interlocked in front of you with their antlers, for they are protecting themselves, and the ancestors are showing you that they are protecting you also. Now we can tap a little bit faster, for the tapping is showing your ancestors that you are ready to journey with them. And then you can stop. You have linked now to the ancestral, the antelopes and the reindeer are with you. A lot of information will tell you that you would watch it and see if it's going to the left, it means one thing. If it's going to the right, it means another. If it's going straight up, it means another. I don't personally believe that, but you can do whatever makes you feel comfortable. So what I am above the smoke, and this is where you need to be. You need to be right near it. And you've brought yourself into that thing. Now you still have in your mind's eye the antelope or the reindeer or whatever you're seeing, but the antlers are there and they are protecting you. They are all around you. You are within the herd, and what you need to do is to sit quietly and to look at the smoke that's coming from all these beautiful sticks. Smell the aroma and breathe it in. And I don't know if this will help, but I'm going to put the other candle here. Can you see that a bit better now? Yeah. Now, when you first look into this beautiful smoke, you will only see smoke. But what I want you to do is to let your mind go. If you have a question that you want to ask the ancestors, think it. As you do, you will start to feel a presence with you. And this is normal. This is nothing to be frightened of, because this is a message, and it's going to deity, to the elders, to those you're seeking. It's also going to your ancestors. You may even see the smoke stop and then restart again. The first time you do it, you might not get anything from this, but this isn't about seeing shapes. This isn't about getting answers. This is about receiving from the ancestral plane, receiving from the gods, and receiving your inner message. So you look into the beautiful smoke and smell the aroma that's coming from it. And guys, the more you do, the more you will feel attached. For at the moment we have an old lady with a robe on, with also a hood, and she is standing here. She is the one who opens the door, the one who opens the door to where we want to go. And so when we look into the smoke, you might start to visualize or see in your mind's eye what you are seeking. Now in this I am seeing Yggdrasil. I'm seeing the tree of life. I'm seeing the elk eating the roots. And I'm seeing grass, lots of grass. And that is because we are in the physical, so we are on Midgard. The elk are doing the job they need to do. They are fulfilling their job as the dew drips from their antlers and goes into the 4 rivers. We look into this beautiful smoke and you might start to see things. It can be letters, it can be shapes, it might just be the feelings. You might be feeling something, or a name, or something might come into your mind. A person, someone might be needing your help. And so it's not just about scrying into this smoke. It's also about using our inner power to help others at the same time. We have the flames here as well, and you can go from the flame to the smoke, to the flame, back to the smoke, to the flame, and doing this constantly will shift you into another place and even another time. You have to sit patiently and just look. And it is a wonderful sensation. Now you can do this, guys, for as long as you want to do this. The antlers tapping is like knocking on the door, and the door had to be opened. You were calling upon the ancestors, and of course the reindeer, the elk, all animals that have antlers would be ancestral for us. And so seeking them brought us to the door that was opened, and that door, once opened, will let you receive what it is you need. It's not always about seeing things in smoke and trying to work out what it means. This is about connections. It's about finding what it is you need to know. And if there's a message for you, you will receive it. It will come to you. It's like the inner eye knowing, not you thinking, what is it saying? It's about letting go and knowing you're protected, knowing that you will be given what you need. And it might just mean you need some help yourself. It might be very healing for you. The gods might be sending you healing through this. It's also about preparations beforehand, getting yourself sorted before you do anything, and then spending this time. Another thing is that when you're feeling presence, the spirit is around you, and that presence can feel like something's tickling you, or it's like there's a hair on your face. Don't be alarmed if it's the first time and you've never felt it before, for you've opened yourself to spirit, you've opened yourself to another realm, to another place. And you are totally protected, and you are in your own protected space. I normally do this sort of thing before I go to bed, because then it enhances your dreams as well, and you may get answers that you've been seeking actually in your dreams. But the aroma of what you're burning, depending on what it is you're burning, will also aid you within. It will give you what you need, and it will heighten your psychic abilities, and also get you more connected. So remember guys, always connect with the incense you're using. You can, and I just thought it would be lovely to share this with you all, because it is part of my practice, something that I like to do, and it really is so relaxing guys. If you've had a stressful time, it's been a rotten day, spend that time just looking into the flames, looking into this beautiful smoke. And I always say beautiful smoke, because isn't it magical? Isn't it beautiful? Who on earth could not enjoy sitting quietly with this? And when you're done and when you're through, you might want to give something back. And sometimes I like to hum or do a little bit of Golda. Now my voice isn't brilliant. You can use your drum. Just it's as simple as that, and something I think you will actually enjoy doing. So if you've got any questions guys, leave it below and I'll always get back to you. So I want to thank all my new subscribers. I want to thank those that are always there supporting this channel. And if you want videos on anything in particular, also put it down in the comments. And sometimes I put things on the community tab, so look out for that as well guys. So I'm going to leave it there now. Wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Lang.